Welcome back, noble heroes. We return once again to Mythia. Our heroes are in Garen trying to coordinate their massive effort and undertakings to save the world. We return to Juniper. Juniper, you find yourself in your office.
She's offering a cup of tea to a tiny rabbit.
What do you look like?
She looks like her human self.
Okay.
She's not in her office. She's in the office she borrowed. She's still under the guise of Juniper. Just a random godmother.
Indeed. All right. When you arrived, you did... I don't remember if I did this or not. Last session, did you receive an envelope about the library?
No.
You are going to head over and you find a message on your desk. It is a query from the head of the library concerned about overreach of government. And as you read through it, apparently they are concerned because the kings are sending questers to the library without getting any kind of permissions from the school. One Isaac Crowley visited the restricted section of the library, and he would like you to use your contacts to speak to whoever is in charge, the authorities required.
This is extremely funny. This is all born from me making some stupid white lie about why I needed to be there.
Yep. Jude's just like, God damn it, Isaac.
Do you even know what I was looking at?
I do now, yes.
Okay.
Because you told me.
I did. Last
You were a good sir who shared your information. Otherwise, she would find out now, and then she would be unhappy. She sighs as she looks at it and writes a small return note saying, I'll take care of it.
Just as you go to use the coin, you don't have it right now.
I don't need to do that. I'm inside the academy.
As you hand the message off to one of the deliverers within the academy, you're suddenly going to see Kajrat appear.
See, you too.
Kajrat appears next to the servant. You are taking my job, she says. She smiles and is going to hop forward once.
How does the little, our student, I guess? Probably one of the first year apprentices. That's what I was looking for.
I don't think I'm that fast, he says. He's going to nod towards you and be off as Kajrat says.
She gestures inside.
Oh, this is quite the welcome, she says, as she hops inside. May I sit?
She gestures and a chair, a cushy chair from the side, pulls forward from the side, and one of the hardback ones that are in front of the desk is scooted away.
She's going to like jump up into it and then doesn't quite make it and scrambles and then climbs up into the chair.
My bad. Sorry.
She says, "It is not bad. I am not a good hopper. That is why I left my family."
June chooses not to say anything to the rabbit about that.
She
Probably
says,
a sore subject.
"So, I am sure that you are short on time, as they say."
Yes, there never seems to be quite enough time in the day, does there?
She says, "Oh, yes." She
However,
doesn't quite seem to share your sentiment.
However, we have enough time for this, so please. She gestures for her to continue. She gets out, actually, I don't really need it. She just sits there.
She says, "So, are you guys, is everything shut up? Are you in private?"
Yes, she closed the door behind her when she came in. She will say, give me one moment and I will put up a few more precautions. And she walks over to the wall. There are already runes embedded, and she activates them to activate the room's security.
While you do that, Kajrat's going to kind of
God, she's so cute.
When you return, she says, "It is unusual, I think, for someone to be privy to such information."
Yes, I would definitely think that is true.
I am a very open person. That is perhaps why Pazix put me with your group.
Oh, I'm incredibly grateful for your openness.
Well, let us begin then, she says. This is a diagram of my form. She's going to pull out she's kind of whoop, and a little scroll appears. You think she has some kind of magical, maybe chain or something on her back that is like a bag of holding or something. She whoops out a scroll and hands it to you, and as you unroll it, you're going to see a pretty intricate medical diagram of a regular, the bodies of her race, and you see that starting with the legs, there is mechanical parts inside of her. She is a cyborg.
Almirage, right? That's the name of the race?
Mm-hmm.
What was that again?
Almirage.
Almirage. I had it written down elsewhere, but... Okay. June is currently spending more time looking at it than she actually needs. She's putting on the facade of closely examining it.
These changes are done, the initial change is done by the panels, like the one that you retrieved from Dunwich. But later, personal changes are made to accommodate wear and desire.
So it is personalized between the messengers.
We have special surgeons. We call them metal crafters. They are skilled at surgery upon the pieces inside. They use a combination of specialized spellcraft and tools that were gleaned from all the ruins throughout the world in order to work upon the parts that are placed inside each of us. This part, she says, going up and pointing, she points to a little disc inside her pelvis. We know that this part is what is responsible for the speed. It allows us to open up an extra-dimensional space where we are much faster than everything around us. It is semi-reality.
Like a between.
Yes, it is much closer to the shadow realm.
But not quite in it?
It is not in it. We do not run through that.
She nods.
It is thought that perhaps there is another place.
Such as?
We do not know. We know actually very little about it. It was accident when first discovered. First messenger was made. They did not know what it was. That is the legend passed down.
Do you know who the first messenger was made by?
It is thought that they were rune hunt, as she says, a hunter of old things. That they were interested in what was before. And they searched the ruin and then panel activated. And they were made. And then they share their gift with others. Once they show speed, others would want to find how. That is what is theory.
Fascinating.
And then it become organization and gain a purpose. And many treaties and lots of rules.
Yes, I imagine so.
It is known that very early it was determined that if used in battle, that it would put both the one attacked and the messenger at great risk. In the other place that we move through, we are not totally here or there, and so we can be stuck in things if we are not careful. So to attack, to touch, is dangerous, which is why we do not transport often, except non-living.
Are there any other things in that between place?
We cannot see them, if so. We do not see anything but into this world, although it is like going through a tunnel.
Are there sounds there?
Occasionally, yes, it sounds like maybe a rock dropping on other rock. A
Yeah.
clatter, a clacking,
Have you ever heard a ticking sound?
ticking. No, no ticking, but I do hear a noise like distant river, maybe. So perhaps it is a something.
Very interesting. Can you
These-
cross the ice this way?
Since we are neither here nor there, we are not subject to normal barriers.
But-
As such, we can go into ice, but it is too far for us to finish. We must come out, and then we would die.
How long can you stay inside?
We can, the farthest run ever made was made by Paziks. Paziks run all the way around Ignos 3 times.
Yes, you're right. It would not nearly be far enough.
He did the race for the leadership position, and that is why he did it.
June is tucking away all kinds of interesting facts in her brain right now. She's curious whether or not Pazik's actually meant for her to tell her all this stuff.
Paziks is upgrade junkie.
I see. So the metal crafters do lots of work on him?
Yes, more work they do, more dangerous more work is. So you must be daredevil.
I see. What about active Guardian tech?
There is standing rule that messengers do not transport nor touch Guardian technology we do not recognize. We do not know what sort of impact it would have, and this is just between you and me, but once, many, many years ago, perhaps 30th century, we know that messenger become taken by technology, must be killed.
They were taken over by it?
Yes. They
June looks
become
vaguely horrified.
like motionless monster. They start
He will be
trying to
assimilated?
destroy the technology that we use to make ourselves.
That is disturbing. Do you all have any of their writing?
While we respect that we are formed by them, we are scared of them. We do not try to learn much of them, except what we need. That is
Probably for the
why
best.
What you were able to do for us at Temple was so important. We do not have the capability to do it ourselves.
I see.
And the technology over many centuries of use, it gets worn.
So in other words, if something like that ever happened before, they simply would have destroyed them.
What do you mean?
With walks.
Yes. If one of us is lost, it is our duty to stop them.
She nods.
Otherwise, I'm sure you understand reputation of organization so big, very important.
Has any other messenger ever been infected by darkness in such a way?
No. Darkness does not get on technology.
Yet it did for walks.
It is possible that because walks only undergo process very recent, was not messenger for very long, that perhaps he did not have the resistance. It is not usual for new messenger to be given such quick assignment, but Walks was very eager. And it was thought that because his fate would make it difficult for him to work in city, that the mission he must get would be rare. So one did come along that he could do.
He was
And
sent.
Yes. Normally, it is done in city at first for safety, so that they practice. But it cannot be happening with Walks.
I see.
Oh, that perhaps answer your question. Walks' fate do work in the run, which means he is in the world.
Hang on, say that again.
She's suggesting that because Walks can't run on roads, even when he's going extremely fast, he is technically still in Mythia.
That's actually good to know. She nods as she also figures out that with her saying it, and she goes, oh, that's actually very interesting. So how many procedures have you undergone?
One.
Just the original one, yes?
I am not known to be a great risk taker, and I am not one to go. She's gonna kind of like put her paws together in like a kind of like like thoughtful way.
God, I'm sorry. I'm just picturing this in my brain, and I'm just like, I love her.
She
Can we
goes,
please make a plushie of her?
I know.
I am a unique creature, not usually seen, which messengers we like, because we do not wish to see halflings running about. In cities, they are messengers, they think we steal their babies, so we get creatures that are not seen often to run a major city, which makes me very useful.
Is that really a problem you guys have often?
It was back in the past.
Do I what? Did I ever hear that?
I
You did
remember,
not.
I remember hearing about this. Maybe not in game, but
Okay.
if people saw like humans running it,
I remember
That's
them
good.
talking about this,
People
but
do
like I
freak
never
out.
heard about them like, saying that they were afraid they stole
Oh.
their babies.
She says,
Oh wait, I do remember. We were talking about this on the boat with Posix. Okay, sorry, my bad. Continue.
so we like to have creatures that are not seen often from rare places to be in major city, which makes me very valuable for small short runs. So I do not need great speed. I mostly operate in Garen normally.
Will you be fine operating outside of Garen?
Politics has told me that you are not delivering too many messages, so it should not be very difficult. For I could deliver 100 messages a day, but no more than that.
I think you'll be fine.
If I work a city, I deliver many, many more messages, but very short. She
Indeed.
does. And if I work as Posix does, I would deliver thousands of messages cross country.
What are the places you are unable to go to?
Bars. We do not go to bars. It is
Understandably.
dangerous for us. We do not deliver on ice for obvious reason. We do not go to Thousand Needle
I wouldn't go there either if I were you.
or Dragon Fang.
Why not the dragon fangs?
Kazor.
I suppose. Could he catch you?
No, but if he sees living creature in his territory, he may go berserk and fly away from territory to burn town.
I suppose.
And, well, there are many ambushed predator there, and if one grab us, we are dead.
I see. And I assume you do not go to Zatnaut.
Says, those with mini upgrade can get to Zalaut, but it is extremely perilous.
Do you still go?
Not since war started.
That's what she was fishing for. No
We
pun intended.
require specific message be sent. I do not know how, but Merfolk Empress has ability.
That's actually news, because everybody thought that they wouldn't go there anymore, right? Okay. What about the moon?
Says we do not go to Crystal Forest.
What about the moon?
Nobody can run in the air.
Good to know. She didn't know that.
We have Air Kokra. He fly. He could deliver, but it'd be slow like normal.
So they
flying
can't
person.
fly that speed.
No, you must be touching ground.
Why?
That's how it works.
Why couldn't you simply adapt the wings to go that quickly?
Parts are in leg. See, your pelvis. Start there and go down.
She nods as she starts looking at it and making mental calculations and changes in her head, trying to figure out if it would be possible to do it to a winged creature.
Metal
wanna go to the
workers.
moon.
What?
You just want to go to the
I
moon.
mean, I've been to the moon, but
Machine puts parts in leg.
who hasn't been to the moon? You haven't been to the moon? Wuss.
Machine put parts in leg, and we change those with metal smith, but we cannot extend it into upper body. So no wing.
Why not? Assuming, of course, this was, an Aarakocra instead of your physiology. Why not change this? Never mind.
What would that do?
Well, theoretically, you could reroute this power supply, change this metal structure here, and theoretically, you could attach it to the wings.
I know that sometime under different leaders, they have tried to change technology to enter a new path. It was horrific.
That's fair. It is Guardian tech, so the fact that you all have been able to work it as much as you have.
You must remember that we did not read it, and we do not know what it means. So it is set correctly. If we change it, then it is not.
You said you do not read it, but do you have written versions of things?
There are buttons, and if you press them in the right order, then thing happen. But if not, then it does other thing that we do not know.
But there are no runes. Like, she actually gets out a pen and then she'll write down a few of the ones that were on the building. Something like this.
You saw the panel. That is what we have.
That is all you have? No other options?
That is right. We plug it. We have it sit in wall.
She just nods.
We could not experiment with it without death.
That's fair enough. Experimentation on living creatures is difficult.
And terrible.
If done incorrectly, yes. What?
Says, you would know better than I. You have more questions?
At this moment, no, but I'm sure I'll come up with something later. Do you have anything that you need answered? That I can.
She says, I was not designated to ask you question.
She nods.
I know that in the conversation with your godmothers that they are asking questions, but I do not know them.
She nods. It's just more along the lines of, does he have anything that he needs right now?
You are suddenly going to gain a uncanny sense that something has entered your room. You gain the sense when the Wazalak is around. I do not have anything else, she says.
Well then, I think that we'll call it a day then.
Very well. Thank you so much. I am glad that I was able to share. with
She
you.
closes the scroll and hands it back.
She's gonna whoop back in. Okay, well, goodbye. You
Goodbye.
call me on coin if you need me.
I believe Hero will be seeking you out at some point soon.
Oh, yes. Very well. She says. She hops out and then...
After the door after she's exited the door, she closes the door. Are you here, old friend?
Yes, I am. Hello.
We haven't been able to meet for quite some time.
So many defenses around.
I don't like
It's almost like you don't want me to meet you.
I'm sure you've known about this for quite some time.
You're going to see like a hand kind of reach out of the shadows and grasp onto your desk and then like pull itself slowly from the wall, like coiling a like a larger insectoid body around the table.
June taps the beetle box and it flies down, lands on the floor, and it gets bigger. And she reaches in and then pulls out a teapot.
You're going to see a symbol, like a fossil, burned into your wall, and then it's going to turn around. Its one eye is staring at it. Oh my. He's going to like press his hand against it and like steam roils against the side of the hand as he wipes the symbol off.
What was it?
It's a sort of conch-shaped symbol that appears whenever the Wazalak exits a surface from the Shadow Realm.
Gotcha.
Oh my, he says as he kind of like rubs it away, steam sort of falling from his hand. Like, what's it called? Cold ice? What's it? It's the
Dry ice.
dry ice.
That's it. Please, join me. Shall I give you a cup of tea?
Oh, yes. I would very much like that.
She puts down 2 clear glass bowls that have a double lining and pulls out a steaming pot of tea and pours.
You may want to bring out a second cup. We are going to have company.
Are we now?
Yes. Zarfan is on his way.
She nods, reaches down and pulls out another one and pours him a cup as well.
June?
Come in.
Zarfan is going to enter. So, you got the message, he says. Sorry, I didn't have the coin.
So he got the message, he said?
He said, sorry, you got the message that you're meeting here.
Gotcha. Indeed.
It was good timing.
Very much so. Tea?
Did you forget that it's Tuesday in Kieran?
Is it Tuesday? I lost track of time in real life.
It's not Tuesday in the real world, but...
Well, yes, I know, but like real life, me keeping track of there. Anyway, she did not forget. She goes, "No, I was simply distracted. My apologies."
This is not our usual meeting spot.
It is not, no.
So, he says, and he sort of taps the teapot on the edge of his cup, places it down, and
She starts
going to,
getting
like-
out desserts as well.
Oh, I don't like it at all.
like places out like a platter of jellies.
Oh, nice. She reaches out and grabs one. Thank you.
This one is from Farm Watch.
She takes a bite.
See that there's like floating grasses inside the gelatin.
I will say, I've never been terribly fond of Farm Watch, but they make excellent jellies.
I was just there. listening. In fact, I've been all over the world.
Have you learned anything interesting?
He says, I have listened to hundreds of conversations. He says, I heard much in my travels to the south about unrest in Aragoth and Farmwatch.
Really?
Yes. I thought that since they are cloistered off, you may wish to know about what is happening there.
You're right, I would like to know that.
Well, I did not gain any useful information about my problem, but I can tell you that
Do I know what his problem is?
the engines.
Okay, yes. Couldn't remember that one. I couldn't remember if we'd actually known that or if I just knew that out of game.
I forgot we still had that mystery.
He says, here, I brought this for you. He's going to, like pull up a scale and, reach underneath it and then just, reach his hand deep into his body and, pull out it's just completely dry, folded scroll.
She takes it nonchalantly and unrolls it.
What is this?
Glances and hands it to get
He's gonna,
Zarfin.
stuff his, get, a Danish, put it in his mouth.
Yeah, she reads it, and hands it to Zarfin.
It has a brutish picture of a evil-looking wizard character, and it says, "Beware of godmothers." Aragoth is on a blaming game. They have blamed all the problems of the engines and fates breaking on you.
Of course they did.
He says, the one who I took that from was very startled when he saw me.
I imagine he probably wet himself.
He says, I'm sure he did, but I didn't stick around for it.
Probably better. It's more sanitary this way.
So he tells you that the Josia has been blaming the events on foreign spies and actors who have caused the recent spat of problems that have started taking place in the city with fate.
I see. What about Farmwatch?
They have a much more pressing issue at hand. They are dealing with a witch.
An actual witch?
At least who they are calling a witch.
Who is it?
They say one of their leaders has ascended to a new height of power within their civilization, and they are suddenly cursed. They say by a witch who comes at night seeking vengeance against them, attacking their walls with powerful magic, and dead.
Undead?
Yes, zombies and such.
Did they get a description of her?
They say that she is pale, with dark hair, and has a wicked aura. But I did not get much more than that. Their seers are quite dangerous to me.
Why is that?
They focus on their paranoia about infiltration. As such, most of their magics are coordinated to act as spotlights for things like invisibility and the Shadow Realm.
I see. But they can see the in-between?
There is not much in between in Farmwatch. Everything is very far apart.
I see.
They say that their new leader can see the future.
June literally just does that. She goes, damn it. When When did that happen?
Zarfen's gonna look towards you knowingly. So, we finally figured out where it fell.
So it would seem. Farm watch.
Why do you dislike Farm Watch?
They're so insular and jerky about it. They're super racist and insular.
They're basically a barrier, right, between the rest of the world and Aragoth in some
Yes,
ways.
they were hyper influenced by Aragoth early on to basically be a barrier state, and they're super racist and jerky about it.
Are they kind of like zealots?
Yes.
essentially?
They're a
But in their
xenophobic,
world,
human-only nation.
I was gonna say xenophobic.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna like me if we go there.
They're not going to like most of us.
They won't like pretty much anybody in the group.
No.
She just kind of goes, well, at least we know.
What do you know?
I believe that our path now leads to Farm Watch.
Oh, no.
Indeed, but thank you very much for the information. It was very helpful.
I just love making conversation.
Well, helpful conversation is still conversation, so thank you.
Well, why don't you tell me what you've been up to? He says.
Traveling, for the most part. She tells briefly of their experience in the Doom Ridge with the darkness and with Satan.
As you finish, he's been just like, just hasn't blinked once, just staring in rapture at you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
She does mention the Guardian Temple. She does not mention the fact that he can read their tech or anything about that.
oh, that is interesting. Zarfen is going to bring up again how he said that he didn't learn anything on his travels. The Wazlak is going to kind of point up a very long finger and say, yes, but for some reason, I feel like I'm getting closer.
To your search?
Finding one of the engines, he says. I can't put my finger on it.
Where do you think you're finding it?
I don't know. I merely had intuition when I arrived here for tea.
Have you been to Garen much?
I have not explored much of Garen.
Why is that? There's
Well,
plenty of places in between here.
their gargoyle system is activated.
Ah, that's fair enough. Did you have any trouble getting here?
Yes.
She smiles and says, my apologies, friend.
It took me nearly an hour to get inside your building.
We should improve that. Anyway,
He's gonna give you like a...
had I remembered you were coming, my apologies, I would have made it easier for you specifically.
Ah, he's gonna turn towards Zarfen. So she can forget, he says. Zarfen's gonna like give him a droll look.
She rolls her eyes.
Well, as nice as this has been, I must flee immediately.
Why?
Light columns approach.
Ah, yes, perhaps you should.
Zarfen's gonna like look over at you like,
Wait,
what
hold
the
on.
hell?
Sorry. Light golems as in like...
Angels.
Oh, she would not have been that nonchalant about that. I didn't think you were talking about the angels. I thought you were talking about something to do with the gargoyles. Yes, at that point she goes, excuse me?
He says, Archangels, a light column brigade approaches Kieran right now. I must flee immediately, he says.
Yes.
Zarfen says, get out of here.
Yes, go.
He's going to like into the floor,
She will...
leaving a unfortunate mark on your floor.
She just kind of lets it go for the moment. She goes, what's going on?
I don't know. You suddenly hear commotion coming from outside.
She goes, never a dull moment.
Not one.
She reaches out, takes his hand, and squeezes it before anything happens. We should go find out.
Master Isaac, finally I found you, Prongor says. I heard about your unfortunate... So you went to the school right?
Yeah.
First?
Mhm.
Okay.
Is this
You got
one
a
here?
note from Prongor at that point that he would like to. He asked where you were, that he was worried that something had happened. He heard that you had a run-in with bounty hunters.
Okay, so does he catch me while I'm in the school?
Only if you'll wait for him. He says that your safety is of utmost importance and that he must come immediately to you and
I
that you
wait.
should wait where you are for him to take a cab over.
I wait for him.
Okay. Master Isaac, it's so good to see you. I've been bored all day, he says. That Dom is a terrible converser.
He's hanging out with Dom. Oh yeah, Dom mentioned that earlier. That's funny. Well, how would you feel about stretching your legs, getting some fresh air? I have some errands to run.
Oh, yes, Master. Speaking of which, I must tell you that the small bird ran into some trouble.
Which small bird?
Walks no roads.
Trouble. What happened?
He got into a scuffle with a toddler.
Oh dear.
Made him bleed.
Baby.
He says he made him bleed.
Walks made the toddler bleed or the other way around?
I think both ways. They were rock throwing.
Who was with Walks? Was he being supervised?
Well, he couldn't go anywhere, so I don't know.
Okay. Did you get the name of the toddler?
He says,
Come on.
I'm afraid that I was looking at ingredients for tonight's dinner, Master, and I expected that Dom would take care of the bird.
So Dom was with you.
He says, it was his fault.
So Dom will pay.
We'll go with that. All right. I shall keep all that in mind. Now, let's be off. I'm in a hurry.
All right. As you walk, he's going to, you're waiting for, the coach to kind of approach. He says, Master, while we're in private, I will tell you, I have heard news from Saul. Interesting news, Master.
What have you all been able to find? Any progress?
They found the forgotten place, Master, and are asking for you to send them a message on whether or not they should enter.
Did they give you any details? Is there an entrance? Is it locked? What does it look like?
In the back of a statue of a wizard, in the middle of the resting lands, outside of the walls of the city, there is a sort of basement. There is a door. It's very heavy. It's very difficult to get open, apparently. But they have broken the lock and are ready to enter. But there are several guards around, so they have retreated for the time being.
We'll write them a message.
Also, Saul has recruited 5 more members.
Good.
Here are their bios, he says.
Does he have them on paper or does he tell them to me?
He has, he tells you.
Okay.
They have recruited a pirate by the name of Jace the Crabber Johnson.
The Crabber Johnson? That's so good. I have to know why he has that name.
And here is Jace the Crabber.
Okay. It's an excellent portrait. He definitely looks like the kind of lowlife that I would recruit to do things.
He's got some big old nose there.
They have recruited an urban ranger of some sort to track people named
of course.
Esma. She is a halfling.
Okay.
She's cool looking.
A very good find next, Master. A bullywog by the name of Humraz. He is apparently a gladiator and pit fighter of great strength and renown.
Oh, is he a green bullywog? That's cute. I love him. He's so short. Is he small?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's like 4 foot.
It's adorable.
A brutish half-orc female by the name of Kreese Kakrak. She is known to be a true brawler, Master. Hideous to look at.
Okay. This is quite the entourage they've picked up. I just need something to give them now.
Finally, they've recruited a dark practitioner of the arts magic named Esh Wavel, a tiefling from Southmark's Master, much as yourself.
What's his name again?
Esh.
Wobble?
Warval.
Okay.
And then here is a picture of
Is he a warlock, you said?
um,
Dark arts practitioner.
he is a male sorcerer
Ah.
who uses like necrotic themed magics. And then that's Saul's wife.
Okay. Man, she looks crazy.
Woo, yeah.
I didn't know she could. Can she fight?
Yeah. And finally, Saul as the leader. He says he has used most of the money that you gave him to recruit all those individuals, Master. I'm not. Did we tell him to recruit some people?
I don't think so, but we'll try and be fortuitous about this and do something useful with it.
Well, either way, we must immediately get back to them on whether they should ransack the forgotten place or not.
Isaac pulls out a piece of paper and he writes a note and he says, they are to spend the next 48 hours monitoring the place and seeing if anyone enters or exits or simply visits it
Very intelligent, Master.
that is not a guard.
An excellent plan.
And if they do see anybody, they are to tail them, follow them from the shadows unseen and figure out who they are. Do not disturb them, do not hurt them, but we need to know who is visiting that place.
Okay.
Now, obviously, if it's a city guard or someone who visits regularly for official reasons, we don't care. But
How should we get the message to the Master? Might a messenger create a great deal of noise?
would a messenger create a lot of noise?
Well, they have the boom when they arrive.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, we'll just do things like we used to. And he'll, like, fold it into a paper bird.
How shall they get it back to us?
Regular postal service.
I mean, there are couriers in the
Very
city.
wise, Master.
Yeah.
He says, well, as you kind of like let it go as the cart pulls up, it's going to start like fluttering in the air and then like lift off like a great butterfly.
Okay.
Cool.
And then sort of like ride the upper wind currents towards them. You feel it possessed within your mind.
Can I think of anything else that I could... I guess I'll start looking for jobs that they would be useful for, other than this.
Okay.
So I do want to give them something to do.
So, Prongor has a little bit more to say about each one of them. Apparently, Jace is good with knots, picking locks, and sailing small vessels.
Okay.
Esma is, of course, great at hunting humanoids. She's looking for kind of some quick cash. Umraz is apparently surprisingly tough, ruthless, and without morals. He loves to like just jump on big guys and beat the shit out of them.
Okay.
And he's the best fighter among the bunch, including Saul. Kreese is dumb and brutish and loves to kill for sport and likes to drink and gamble. And then Esh is sort of an unusual sorcerer. He doesn't like to like blast people. He likes to like kind of cunningly consider like not normal spellcraft like that people use and sort of like use cunning to like trip up his opponents.
Okay.
So like he's the kind of guy who might like move earth to like dig a pit and then like cover it up and then like an alarm spell to like call somebody to it or like make a prestidigitation of somebody's voice like in the area and then like come and fall in the pit and die rather than like just like blast into the fireball.
And if you guys have beef with anyone, I can just be like, all right, squad up, let's go. I got guys. Let's do this.
All right.
Getting the gang back together.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
So-
want to like do stuff with all these mercenaries. This is cool. I just need I need stuff. Everything's too good right now.
Everything's too good.
Yeah.
Like the missions.
Oh, you need like some
We need an unsavory
some dirty
mission.
stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
just something in the city for me to point them at. The mercenaries already attacked me, and I took care of that, so that's not a concern anymore. All right.
All right. So you arrive at the quester's chest, sir.
Okay.
You see a busy storefront with an impressive variety of goods, magic items, and what appear to be adventurers kind of hanging around the outside of it. Some of them smoking pipes, sitting on barrels.
What kind of stuff? Is it like a general goods store? Or is
It
a
appears
store
to
for-
have general goods.
Is it like
but
a store for
also
adventurers?
you see, like, as you look through the window heading towards it, it almost looks like a Harry Potter shop, honestly. Like, it's got just, like, tons of stuff
Stacked to
everywhere.
the ceiling,
Yeah.
which is very whimsical.
There's maps just covering the parts of the walls and, like, big scrolls, magic potions.
I wanna visit this.
It's a really bustling, kind of active quest hub.
Okay.
As you enter, you see just dozens of people. It's packed to the gills. Sort of moving about swiftly. One guy kind of like brushes angrily against you. But you see that there is multiple shopkeepers. But it looks like one shopkeep has sort of noticed you, a halfling woman with she's got this like glass eye.
She's human.
Shit, I thought I read halfling.
Nope, human.
A human woman with a glass eye, and she's going to sort of glance through the crowd, and she's going to kind of like, "Are you Isaac Crowley?"
Isaac heads over and says, I am. I presume that you are Lillian?
She says, "That's right. I'm to help you." She says, "Just tell me what you need, and I'll get it done, eh?"
I guess someone reached out to you ahead of me.
"I've got my contacts." She sort of smiles a little mysteriously.
I tell you what, I'm looking to hire some adventurers, and I'm willing to pay, and I was hoping you could help me find the right people.
She's going to kind of lean forward. "All right, let's talk about how much."
Okay.
She's going to like pull out this roster, and it's like this huge book, and she like lays it out in front of you, and is, "Here's those who want to make themselves known for work," she says, and you're looking at like this 2,000-page book, and you like kind of like finger a couple of pages, and it ranges from like petty sailors who or like a retired guard captain who wants to make some side money, like killing monsters,
Guarding
to
chickens for a week or something.
to like you see like an ascended half orc in here, who apparently his fate just allows him to just slay any beast.
That's a pretty good fate. All right. Okay, so Isaac is specifically going. Is there any rhyme or reason to the organization of like where they are in the book?
There would totally be organization for that.
Okay.
Okay. She says, "Do you want them organized by race, fate, or desire?"
I'm looking for those who specialize in the undead.
She says, "Okay, that's probably type." She's going to reach in and pull out a book sort of by class.
Okay.
So she'll say, "You'll find the brutes in the front, and the mages in the back, and everything else in between."
Thank you very much. I'll take a look at this. Do you have a...
They're color coded for power as well.
As Isaac notices all these like things you're mentioning, he's going to start to like suspect that you wrote these books or you put spells on them. Okay.
That's fair.
As you like suspect that, you like turn and suddenly there's like a winking eye in the book somewhere. No.
No, I'd find like a tea stain and some like pastry crumbs. Or something.
Hardly.
Crumbs.
Not for books,
Not
sir.
on books. That's like
Never on
sacrilege.
books.
Okay. So as you're looking, so if you're looking for adventurers to help with the quests in the quest book,
Mhm.
that's going to be like a bigger undertaking. Most of these, like 90% of these, couldn't possibly go on some kind of quest.
So these are all small time heroes.
These are for like, and you just smuggle some goods, or like, oh no, there's some were rats that we need to take care of. Like local. Almost none of them, like at least 70% of this book is for local problems.
Okay.
You're looking at maybe like 2% of all of the characters in here would be capable of dealing with a problem on the scale that you guys are.
Okay. So is there any I should take note of, or should I just shut the book and give it back already? Because if the books are all small time adventures, then Isaac's going to turn his attention to scanning who's in the building.
Dude, that's what you do. That's why the color coding is you can find the most powerful ones and look at those.
Okay.
Plan for these things. Come on now.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check to determine which one of these characters would be capable of handling a sort of job that you're looking for.
Okay. Investigation.
Yes.
A 1. I am rolling so poorly tonight. Oh my god.
Oh no. All right. So as you're going through this,
I ripped the page.
rip the page.
Oh crap.
That's funny.
Cast mending really fast and fix it.
Okay. The only one that you're really like second glancing back at, although his price asking is high, is that half-orc I mentioned named Gruul.
Okay.
Grull. Apparently titled the Beast Slayer. He recently signed up. He's in town apparently till the tournament ends. And he is... So I'll just give you a stat block since you're for it. He's this one in the center there.
36307. Okay.
I'm giving him the question stat block.
Let me just read his abilities real quick. Okay. Thrill Seeker's funny. I like that. Okay.
You can read him a lot if you like.
Okay. Fated Slayer. If the quest has the beast tag, he succeeds on all combat checks unless he rolls a 1. That's pretty good. He doesn't go on any quest that has less than a DC 15 combat check. And for every quest he goes on, we have to pay him 200 gold. Okay.
Do we have any titled beast?
I don't think we have any beast titled ones yet. But we probably will in the future. Okay. So if he's the only one I see, I'll give the book back.
Let me make sure about that.
Is there a quest board in this building? I'm assuming?
Yes, there is.
I'll take a break from looking for heroes because I failed at it so spectacularly.
Right.
I will.
But you damaged our book.
I'll take a break and go look at the quest board and see if there's anything on there that's like as concerning as the stuff we already have.
All right.
And while I do, I tell Prongor to just peruse and see if he spots anything that like would be useful for us.
You're going to hear the door open, and you're going to kind of hear like a, oh. And as you turn, you're going to see Potjack just sort of like fit his way inside the door.
Yo.
I was wondering if he was going to come into that.
Prongor says, Master, I found something.
That's fair.
Isaac turns. Oh.
Hey, Isaac, he's going to say. And you're going to see like, the shopkeepers are like, oh.
Potjack's like pretty famous, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Isaac will walk over to him and be like, Potjack, what would you be doing in a place like this? Looking for work, I don't hope.
I was about to ask you the same thing. You're walking into a place with about 700 bounty hunters in it. As soon as he says that, you're going to see like several people sort of like kind of listening over their shoulder when the word bounty hunter is mentioned.
Boy, do you just go to the best places today.
Isaac's like, place is so crowded, I figured no one would try anything in here.
Oh,
All right. Prongor is going to kind of like tap on you and like point, and you're going to see like a picture of you like hanging up on the wall, and you see like a couple of guys like comparing back and forth to it.
Okay.
We'll get you inside the quester's chest. but
You're
you
going to
know
suddenly
outside-
see the shopkeep. You're going to see Lillian like
We'll
jump
just
up
keep
and
going.
like swipe down the thing. She says, out of date bounties, and she's going to sort of like sweep it away.
Okay.
You're going to see the guys kind of like, but they look like they're kind of mollified for the moment.
Isaac turns back to Potjack, and he's holding a stack of papers, and he says, well, as for me, I've got work that needs doing, actually. I'm looking for good people.
Well, none of those around, eh?
Well, Potjack, now that you're here, I don't know if you happen to have an open schedule. You
He's
know
gonna
I'm
kinda
always
like-
willing to pay.
Well, I'm pretty busy, you know. We've got lots of meetings to go to, but I might be able to fit something in my schedule.
If you could pencil me in, for old time's sake, we're friends, right? I could give you some good work. I bet you it's more interesting than those meetings.
You're suddenly going to see, like, a creature. It is like,
Is
it
that the
looks...
best way for you to describe it?
It is the shortest, probably grubbiest looking, like, it looks a lot like Pozix.
Mm-hmm.
But you think it might be some kind of like a Smurfneblin,
What?
a gray gnome,
Yeah.
like a gray skinned.
I'm a creature. That's rude.
Well, he may be very grotesque looking. We don't know.
Just saying.
He looks like some kind of mutant. That's why I call him that.
Okay.
He does not look like a
Nice
normal
looking.
gnome.
It's like a.
He has like goblinish ears. Like they're kind of ragged at the edge, and there's like a little hook point on the end of them. And he's got clawed hands, kind of grayish skin.
It's like a were-rat to me.
Similar, but he doesn't have fur. He's gonna kind
the
of.
naked
Were-rat. A naked were-rat.
He goes, "Oh, Isaac, this is Grim. He's my bookie."
Oh lord.
Isaac says, Grim, it's a pleasure, and gives him a nod.
I've heard a lot about you.
Grim, tell me what Potjack means when he says you're his bookie.
I coordinate his payments and his jobs,
Who is his manager?
Do you keep that in writing?
of course.
I see.
Yeah, I'm not so good with negotiations. Me and Grim been apart for a bit, but, well, I got back my Nancy.
Hey,
He
you know what,
says.
Potjack? That's smart. The more time you save, hiring people like him, the more time you can spend doing other stuff.
Right. Master, what's a Nancy? Prongor whispers to you.
I'll tell you later. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so Potjack is going to sort of like fakely pretend like he's got a whole bunch going on, but seems pleased that you've asked him to do something.
Okay.
Grim is going to look up and like actually pencil you in somewhere.
Okay. All right. Do I get Potjack's stat block as an adventurer?
Yeah.
So I will definitely send him on something cool.
Here he is.
2 mine? That's way higher than I thought. All right.
It's only 1 out of 10.
28308. Dang, that's good. All right. Whenever he encounters multiple combat or toughness checks, either linked in a row during a quest, if he succeeds one, he succeeds all subsequent checks. Wow. Okay. Might makes right. Once per quest, Potjack can roll a combat check in place of a charisma check, and he succeeds. If he succeeds a check. Okay. For each check required in a quest, Potjack will expect to be paid 1,000 gold points after the quest is over in gold bars. 1,000 gold per check I don't know. That's a fair price, I think.
For him, yeah. I mean,
Because
he
he
is
can-
an A-lister.
He can use Might Makes Right to make his own chain of combat checks to just auto-succeed all of them. So it's... He could potentially just, like, solo a really difficult mission if he wanted to. Okay. Good thing Isaac is loaded, because we can afford that. Right. After the game, I might ask you to send me some of those so I can print them out.
No problem.
Paper. Okay, so what do I see on the quest board? Anything that's like as concerning as the stuff we have, or is it all small time stuff?
You do see it paints a vivid picture of the unseen issues being caused by Fate's breaking. Apparently there are quadruple as many problems happening in the city as normal. And it's really obvious that there is like an army, a legion of lower mercenaries sort of preventing greater problems from Fate's breaking.
Okay.
Your aide in the shop is extremely helpful in kind of getting you oriented and setting you up with any necessary supplies you might need.
You get lots of discounts, too.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a D20 check to see how much additional aid she's able to provide.
You basically get, like, the at cost whenever you buy things here.
One of you want to start like rolling for me? 5.
Oh, dear.
So you will walk out with a complimentary potion of heroism.
Very generous. Okay.
And she will kind of like begrudgingly, but still does suggest that if you're looking for a higher caliber of hero than they currently have on their books, you'll probably want to go to the White Boar.
Begrudgingly. Okay. I thank her very much for her time and her hospitality, and I tell her I'll be back.
All right. So Potjack and Grim are kind of like messing around. Potjack is gonna like, he's talking with a couple of other like gruff looking types, some big strong boys, and he's sort of like, yeah, I knocked that grandma into the ground, took all that coin right off her, he says. And then he's gonna kind of like see you looking at him as like, I picked her right back up, brushed her off, you know. Yeah, sent her on her way. She took her to the hospital. It was an accident. He's gonna say.
Are the other people, the rough boys, really confused at the end of that story?
They're like, yeah, I got that grandma. And then they're like, well, what?
And do we want to have Potjack do the sky range for us? I think he could just do it by himself.
That sounds like a bad idea.
I don't know what the aftermath would be, but he would be successful.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, probably.
And then he decides he can see the future with the crown piece.
Oh, maybe we don't want to give
Goes-
Potjack a crown shard. Yeah.
Crazy.
Huh? Sounds like a bad
And then
idea.
he's unstoppable with the shard.
I would prefer to not send Potjack to a crown shard.
That's hilarious.
I think that would be one of the funniest characters to have. Get
Oh,
a
it would
shard.
be hilarious, but bad.
Okay.
I've done seen the future. Let me sing you a song about it.
No, wait, no.
Right.
Okay, I'll go to the whiteboard.
All right.
Oh,
All right. So as you head around the quester's chest trying to complete your business, we will go ahead and call the session there for the time being, Noble Heroes. We really appreciate you coming back to join us. Please give us a like and subscribe if you enjoyed our content, and do try this at home.